Hello and welcome to Xinhua Live. You are watching now is Chicago, which is hit by polar vortex and bringing the temperature to sub-zero. But as you can see, the city is still very much alive. We can hopefully say the worst of the freezing cold is already behind us. And as you can see here, that the people of Chicago are quite enjoying the cold weather, which is the second coldest weather in Chicago's recorded history. And the people here are quite seizing the moment. Yeah, they are. As the night approaches, there is a slight snow going on here. But the temperature is actually rising from the freezing cold of yesterday. The painfully cold weather system that put much of the Midwest in historic deep freeze is expected to ease on Thursday. You can see part of the Michigan Lake is also ice right now. Because of the snow, we cannot see the skyscrapers very clearly. But you can see the light. As right now, you are watching Xinhua Live. What you are watching is the famous Chicago skyline in the freezing cold brought by polar vortex. If you watch the news, you probably already know it. Now there's a light snow going on and putting the city in a mist-like scenario. What you see, the white ground is actually Lake Michigan, where there was a phenomenon called diamond dust. Trains and buses in Chicago operated with few passengers. The hardest commuters ventured out only after covering nearly every square inch of flesh against the extreme chill. There has been strict warnings from the officials that all the people who want to go outside should cover their skins. Any exposed skins in this cold, in this kind of weather, for more than 5 minutes risk the record of freezing weather. What you are seeing right now is the building of Adler. As you can see, there are many cars here. Now, as we look back into the Chicago skyline, we can see traffic still going on. There are cars. Sorry, the camera is not responding well. Yeah, the camera is not responding well. I'm assuming it's because of the cold temperature. Famous skyline. As you can see, the light dots on the bottom of the skyscrapers. The traffic is still going on in the city. The postal service in the city took a rare step of suspending mail delivery for another day. The So for those who are watching, the Chicago's cold is quite dangerous. For those who's joining right now, you are watching Xinhua Live. What you are seeing is the famous Chicago skyline. The temperature now is much better than yesterday when the temperature was 50 minus 0 or 45 Celsius minus 0.可以，马上结束就立刻就结束。 Okay, you're watching Chicago right now. Coming next is a live from New York. Brought to you by our Xinhua correspondents in New York, where they will
So after visiting Chicago with my colleague, now welcome to New York. I'm here at the Bryant Park in Manhattan, and we have prepared something special for you. So behind me is a sculpture that actually is a frozen fountain that could be very famous on the social media. The freezing weather caused by the polar vortex in the Midwest United States expanded to New York on Wednesday with snowfalls and strong wind gusts, sending temperatures to the single-digit Fahrenheit or below minus 12 degrees Celsius. The National Weather Service issued snow squall warnings for New York City and some counties in the neighboring states of New Jersey and Connecticut on Wednesday. A snow squall means a sudden burst of blowing snow, which arrived in the city around 3:30 p.m. and lasts around 30 minutes, causing trouble for evening commute. Meanwhile, wind chill warnings and advisories are in effect for much of the three-state area Wednesday night through Thursday morning. An Arctic blast is also expected to hit the area Wednesday night with gusts up to 40 miles per hour, making temperatures continue to plummet, according to the NWS. New York City's Emergency Management Department issued a hazardous travel advisory for road traffic Wednesday afternoon, saying that the snow squall may cause brief whiteout conditions, limiting visibility and making travel extremely dangerous. New York City, the city has issued a cold blue alert, which means outreach teams will act more frequently to encourage homeless people to go to shelters. Major airports in the city were paralyzed due to the snow. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, flights at the JF Kennedy International Airport were delayed nearly 2.5 hours, while flights in LaGuardia Airport were delayed about 19 minutes. Cold weather in New York City with temperature expected to fall to a few degrees Fahrenheit above zero is very rare. And the temperature, and as the extreme weather system stretches from the Midwest to New England, over 40 million people will be affected. The weather system is expected to lift by Friday. So actually, for those who just joining in, welcome to Xinhua Live. We are now bringing to you the live streaming in the Bryant Park in Manhattan, New York City. And temperatures are expected to pick up during the weekend to as high as in the 40s Fahrenheit, according to the weather forecast. And weather experts are warning people to stay inside as the extreme cold can cause terrible harm and in a matter of minutes, and deaths related to the cold have been reported. And on Monday, nearly 2,000 flights have been cancelled across the country. And on Tuesday, the number is expected to exceed the previous mark. Hundreds of schools and government departments are closed in the states hit by the vortex. But while the extreme cold weather grieves the United States, the spelling doubts about the climate change still exists. A poll released Tuesday showed that more people are starting to believe climate change is credible, partially due to the frigid weather which has gripped the United States. The poll released by Associated Press showed that 48% of the respondents found the signs of human-induced climate change more convincing when the poll was taken in November 2018 than they did 5 years ago, compared to 14% who thought it less convincing. "83% of those who polled who believe in climate change want the federal government to take actions to minimize it, and 80% want their state government to act," the survey found. More people than expected supported a carbon tax to help curb greenhouse gas emissions, according to the survey. So after seeing the frozen fountain, now let's walk our steps to a skating playground. So actually, even if the temperature is very low and the city is quite cold, but still New Yorkers are enjoying this moment. And in front of us, we can see that people are, though they are not quite, we can't say there are many people here skating, but still, there are people here are just seem to enjoy the weather, the temperature here. For those who are just joining in, you are watching Xinhua Live, brought to you at the Bryant Park in Manhattan, New York City. Today we talk about the cold temperature now hit the United States. And the freezing weather caused by the polar vortex in the Midwest United States has expanded to New York on Wednesday, with snowfalls and strong wind gusts sending temperatures to the single digits Fahrenheit or below minus 12 degrees Celsius. The weather forecast has said temperatures are expected to pick up during the weekend to as high as in the 40s Fahrenheit. And now we are